Welcome to our 2023 Career Series webinars on nutrition as a versatile career option. This series is brought to you by the School of Health Sciences, International Medical University. My name is Dr. Snigdha, and I shall be the moderator for today's session. In today's session, we have invited three distinguished speakers, Prof. Norimah Karim, a former colleague from IMU, Ms. Sylvia Ho, one of our successful alumni currently working in the nutrition industry, and Dr. Serene Tung, a nutritionist by training and a faculty member at IMU. Before we begin, please allow me to share some housekeeping rules. Without further ado, let us welcome our first speaker, Prof. Norimah A. Karim. Prof. Norimah is the Fellow of Nutrition Society of Malaysia with an extensive working experience of more than 35 years. Her contributions in service and research include dietary assessment methods, nutritional epidemiology, community nutrition intervention programs, and many more amongst the others. Prof. Norimah works closely with several committees under the Ministry of Health, chairing the Technical Working Group in Nutrition Research in Malaysia, as well as the Dietary Guidelines for the Elderly. She has been holding a couple of posts in the Nutrition Society of Malaysia, as well as under the Malaysian Association of Study of Obesity, and also the expert panel for Nutrition Month Malaysia and Positive Parenting. Without further ado, I welcome Prof. Norimah to kindly deliver her talk. Over to you, Prof. Norimah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so very much, Dr. Snigdha. Let me share my screen. Okay, so for this afternoon, I am going to kickstart the talk on our webinar, Improving Health Status of the Nation Bite by Bite. Now, as mentioned by Dr. Snigdha just now, so what I will do in the next 15 minutes will be to talk about the dietary pattern transition in Malaysia and where are we heading? Are we heading in the right direction or otherwise? Okay, so if you look around you now and parents or students who are going to join IMU in the nutrition program, we look at the consumption trends of Malaysians. They are now moving away from the local staples, but more towards the heavily refined diet. So some studies carried out in Malaysia quite recently have shown that there are 4 types of meal pattern which are consumed by Malaysians, and the home meal pattern, which is characterized by people taking a lot of rice, a lot of sugar sweetened beverages, and high intake of non-starchy vegetables. Another one would be the plant food pattern, which is supposed to be the good one, because for this meal, high intake of non-starchy vegetables and a lot of fruits and a low eating out frequency. That's what we want Malaysians to do, which is to have and consume food at home. We also have another pattern, which is Chinese traditional, mostly will consume noodle dishes and unsweetened plain coffee or tea. Now, not a good dietary pattern will be the sugar sweetened beverages pattern, where for this kind of food intake, the people will be consuming a lot of sugar sweetened beverages, coffee or tea, more so with condensed milk, and also sweet beverages and carbonated drinks. Okay. Now, if we were to look at what sort of carbohydrate, what sort of fat, or what sort of proteins are Malaysians eating, a lot of studies in Malaysia have shown that when we have carbs, most of our carbohydrates are mainly from white rice, from vegetables, and sugar. Most of our carbohydrates are also from sugar. Vegetable or fat will be mostly our vegetable oil, our palm oil. And for the protein, we are consuming a lot of animal protein, which is not that very good, because there should be a 1-to-1 ratio between animal protein and plant protein. If now we look at Malaysian Adults Nutrition Survey, the Ministry of Health have carried this a couple of times. The first one in 2003, then there's one in 2014, and more recently in 2022. But the results are not available for us. But in any case, what we see that between 2003 and 2014, there is a decline in rice and table sugar intake, but now Malaysians are consuming more flour, wheat, and rice-based noodles, as well as sweetened condensed milk. Vegetables, well, when we compare fruits and vegetables, these two food groups are both very important for our health. But in Malaysia, Malaysians are consuming vegetables quite okay, but they are not consuming enough fruits. Yeah. And also studies found that 1/3 of Malaysian adults eat 4 large meals, meaning they eat breakfast, lunch, dinner. That's good, but not necessarily is good to have a late night snack, which is our supper. Another food group which is definitely lacking will be Malaysians are not drinking enough milk and consuming dairy products as recommended by our Malaysian dietary guidelines. Okay, what's the impact of all this here when you are consuming too much of the sugar sweetened beverage and wholemeal diet? So we know the problem in Malaysia that we have obesity and related non-communicable disease prevalence to be on the rise. And when we compare, for example, diabetes is 3 times more in Malaysia compared to other countries, and obesity is like 2.5 times more prevalent in Malaysia than other countries. So this is showing you overweight is the one in blue and obesity in brown. So when we look at this National Health Mobility Survey, which have been carried out how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is even now more recent, the 6th one. And we see that even though overweight is sort of stabilized over the last decade, yeah, from 2011 to 2019, but obesity is still increasing. And when you have obesity, usually you will have a lot of the non-communicable disease. The reason is being now Malaysians are more practicing poor dietary practices. If we compare from 1970 until now, Malaysians now, we have a lot of food culture from all over the world coming in, new phenomenon of food intake and lack of supportive environment for healthy eating. Hence, Malaysians have poor dietary practices. If you look at, for example, what is so bad about how Malaysians are eating, 94% of Malaysians are not eating enough fruits and vegetables among adults. Now, studies among children also show that children are also not eating enough fruits and vegetables every day. Another one will be the low food, milk and dairy products. High sodium intake, yeah, high sodium intake, 1 in 2 adults have high sodium intake, 1 in 2 have high fat intake. When we look at children, yeah, about half of children consume fast food at least once a week, and consuming carbonated drinks, soft drinks at least once daily. 1/3 of our students. Looking at how the intake of sugar, yeah, 2012 to 2017, from 30 grams to 40 grams, that is consuming from 6 teaspoons of sugar per day, and now even up to 8 teaspoons per day. Okay, so when we look at the changes in the types of food consumed, so now we know the food group changes are typically, we are eating a lot of refined carbohydrate. What that means is Malaysians are eating a lot of sugar, not so much of fiber. So a lot makan cake, cookies, donuts, or chocolates, ice cream, all those with a lot of refined carbohydrate, which are sugar. And we, of course, take a lot of fried food. Yeah, so those are coming from the edible oils. Always add our sugar, food, carbonated drinks, cordial drinks, and we are consuming a lot of animal source meal, all from animal. Yeah, kurang from the plants. As such, when there are a lot of changes on the left side here, so therefore there's a decrease in intake of legumes like your dal, yeah, like your kacang muda, and also less of fruits and vegetables. Okay, why do people, for example, the plant and the animal food, yeah, animal meal, Malaysians like to eat chicken and fish, less of the red meat, maybe because it is convenient, it is flexible, it is available, and it is accepted by a lot of the different races. Okay, so the changes in types of food consumed also sort of advocate the consumption of lean meat. Of course, that will be chicken over the red meat, but of course, fish is also white meat. What I would like to focus will be milk consumption per person in Malaysia has dropped, yeah, from all the studies that we have done. Maybe some of us have lactose intolerance, but there are ways for us to consume fermented milk products like yogurt, milk drink, yeah, fermented milk drinks, which can increase our tolerance to milk products. Okay, now Malaysians are very fond of eating out. Yeah, even in our one study, Malaysian food parameter study shows that two-thirds or 64% of Malaysians consume at least one meal each day outside of their homes. Well, we know a lot of Malaysians are working, so definitely they would have their lunch in the office. Hopefully, they would still have their breakfast and dinner at home. Yeah, but also another 12 or 1 in 10 person dine at home, having at least having meal coming from outside as well. And this Malaysian Food Barometer study also showed that 1/3 of population eat the fourth meal, and this is basically your supper. Now, during the COVID-19 was for like almost 2 years, I suppose. We were like, most shops will be closed, 24-hour mama and restaurant were closed for 24 hours. But I think now they are slowly opening up. I think it would be very nice that if we had not practiced our fourth large meal during the COVID, this should be continue until now, even the restaurants are slowly opening up. Okay, now consumers can order home cooked food from nasi campur, nasi kandar, and all these where we can have food delivered. That is another culture, which is a new culture where you can order in a lot of food. Yeah, but actually, whatever it is, we always prefer food to be cooked at home. Yeah, so if you buy food from outside, there are ways for us to select healthier foods, meaning less fried, more roasted and steamed, and so on. So some trendy food culture, the bubble tea, the coffee, all this, for example, bubble tea is a high calorie sweetened tea flavored beverage. Yeah? The juice and smoothie drinks now, you can find them how they market in the mall. Usually they are immune boosting and detoxifying. So those are just marketing ways that they want people to come. But you have to look closely. Most of these juices tend to be sweet also. For example, if we look at well-known shops, all this bubble tea shows that a single serving of bubble tea has about 300 calories. Yeah, but where it comes from, it mostly comes from the sugar also, where 38 grams of sugar is actually almost 8 teaspoons of sugar in one particular drink. Okay, now how do we move forward? Now, because of all these problems that we have, Malaysians are not eating very well. From then until now, it's getting worse. And with that comes all the overweight, obesity, and all the diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, and cancer. So Malaysians do need more trained nutritionists. And in Malaysia, nutritionists has to be trained because they have to register with the Allied Health Professional Act, which means only trained nutritionists can practice nutrition. So the role of nutritionists is definitely, we want to educate and to promote healthy eating and active living, where the acronym is HEAL. Yeah, always encourage Malaysians to practice healthy eating and active living from very, very young. Okay, this also will help us to combat, to prevent overweight, obesity, undernutrition, anemia, stunting, and so on. And another thing, the prevention, what nutrition do is to prevent people from being overweight, obese, and also prevent us from developing a non-communicable disease like diabetes. We know is high, hypertension, heart disease, and cancer is also high among adults in Malaysia. Okay, now in this 50 minutes, of course, I don't have time to tell a lot of stories, which I actually have. But what I can recommend to you is even now, even I am already retired, I always watch this BBC lifestyle channel 717, which the program tells the family, yeah, to eat well for less. And from this program, you should be able to learn more about nutrition and look at the role of nutritionists. And it's such a good program. This is a British program. And with this as a kickstart for this webinar, I hope you will stay on and listen to my friends in the next 2 or 3 slots. With that, I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Prof. Norimah. You have educated us on the dietary transition in Malaysia, highlighting on the shifts in the food consumption amongst the multi-ethnic population. You have also enlightened on the evidence from a few landmark studies among our population. Thank you again for your talk. Dear audience, please do not forget to type in your questions into the Q&A panel box. Moving on, let's get to our next speaker, Dr. Serene. Dr. Serene is currently a senior lecturer in the Division of Nutrition and Dietetics at IMU. She has more than 10 years of academic experience in teaching as well as research. Some of her research interests includes child and adolescent nutrition, nutrition of the underprivileged, sustainable nutrition, and nutrition amongst the various communities. Throughout her career, she has collaborated with various research groups, both nationally as well as internationally. She's also a committee member of the Dietary Guidelines for Maternal, Child and Adolescents, as well as the Malaysian Dietary Guidelines under the Technical Working Group under Ministry of Health, Malaysia. Amongst her other roles in various committees, she is also an active member of the Nutrition Society of Malaysia, Malaysian Association of the Study of Obesity, Malaysian Society of Body Composition, and an expert panel for positive parenting. Let's hear from Dr. Serene. Dr. Serene, the floor is yours.
Let me quickly follow my slides here for the presentation. Yeah, thank you once again, for the kind introduction, Dr. Nida, So my name is Serene, and today I will be sharing my presentation entitled Food Trends and its Impact on Dietary Habits. Now, just a brief outline of what I will be sharing today. I will be, sharing a little bit about, the past and the present food, nutrition, and also diet trends. Some, may have already been highlighted, by Prof. Norimah herself. And then, how nutritionists actually play a role, when it comes to, all these different types of food trends that's ongoing. And of course, the most important thing is, how you're going to be learning and in IMU as you enroll as a student in our nutrition program. Now, what is nutrition or food or diet trends? It's actually a fashionable new food or an edible product or principle of how to prepare or choose food. Most of the time, it is for a very short period of time, or sometimes certain food trends actually last for even a decade, or many years later. Now, sometimes also some of these, food trends are actually what we call as food fads. It's a diet that becomes popular for a very short time, with unreasonable claims for fast weight loss or health improvement. Now, did you know? Did you know that soft drinks, which is a water-based flavored drink, usually but not necessarily carbonated, used to be a food trend in the past. Soft drinks are called soft in contrast with hard alcohol drinks, and it is one of the popular food trends in the 1980s. One of the iconic soft drinks that was introduced in the 1980s was nonetheless Coca-Cola itself. Now, in 1950s, another food trend actually developed, which is the fast food restaurant trends, which is a specific type of restaurant that serves fast food cuisines with minimal table service. It was also the first introduction of take-out food with a slogan of, less work for mothers, or they call it as a wife saver. Mainly because mothers need to prepare food, and a lot of times because mothers also work at the same time, it is difficult. So this becomes a convenient food to be brought home, by a lot of mothers. Similarly, in the 19th century, cupcakes, baking actually surfaced as it became one of the very more convenient way to bake, Instead of baking a big and large cake in a cake pan, we bake small little cup sizes molds instead. You can now see cupcakes being served in children's birthday parties and also school parties. Now, there are also many other trends that, is rather popular at the moment, like for instance, the boba, or the bubble tea that, Prof. Norimah was talking about, which is high in sugar in terms of calories, which leads to consumers' demand for healthier food, beverage, or options, such as, fruit-infused tea or yogurt beverages that, again was mentioned just now. And, another reason to all these food trends is because we are, very into food that is Instagrammable, friendly, or worthy. It became a trend due to the influence of various social media platforms, bringing young people to a new behavior known as cafe hopping, a lifestyle of enjoyment and taking Instagram-worthy photos of food to be posted on social media. And social media also influenced, the way we prepare our food. Meal prepping becomes very popular. because, okay, it helps with busy executives, young people, and even mothers' favorite. Yeah, due to, it being very convenient. It's grab and go meals for later. Yeah, and it was also something that was very popular, yeah, during the COVID-19 pandemic lockdowns. And other food trends that developed during COVID-19 include Dalgona coffee trend. Yeah, okay. Why Dalgona coffee trend was part of the the hype during the COVID lockdown, because a lot of people are still very into wanting to post Instagram worthy treats. Yeah. And this became something that we could do while being at home. Not forgetting, the delivery heroes, that has changed the way we eat, that changed our food environment, where food, ordered through food delivery apps that sent to our doorsteps, has leads to the rises of online food delivery culture. And fat diet trends, as I mentioned just now, fashionable, popular trend, mainly, claiming that it is able to help with weight loss in a very short period of time. Yeah. One of the popular fat diet that I think, also again influenced by social media is the ketogenic diet, which involves consuming very low amount of carbs, replacing them with fat to help the body burn fat for energy. So a lot of these, fat diet trends, has these unreasonable claims of very fast weight loss or health improvements. But we have to be very cautious, with following these kind of trends, because, a lot of the claims are, not really clinically examined and lack of evidence. Yeah. Now, what are the common food trends that, thankfully have been, compiled and reported in the recent nutrition trends? Thankfully, the nutrition trend report shows that our diet is changing for the better, healthier and more sustainable, climate friendly. More to plant-based nutrition, and also more to convenience and healthy food to go. People are looking to buy local and seasonal produce, and consumers are demanding for eco-friendly business practices that's very transparent, that has short supply chains, minimal food and packaging waste, because of the greenhouse gases that are produced across food types and also to the, the supply chain itself. So you can see, we are demanding for sustainable diet that can, that is protective and also respectful of the biodiversity and ecosystems. To ensure that, we are able to contribute to, we are able to have diets that's low in environmental impact, and contribute to food and nutrition security, to a healthy life for present and also future generations. This is a summary of, what you can see in terms of the greenhouse gas emissions per kilogram of food products. According to the different types of food that is made available and also produced by the food industry and agriculture. And the ones that, at the bottom end is showing that, the gas that is emitted is the lowest. Then again, because of that, plant-based diets became something that's popular too. Because eating meat or fish on a daily basis is not, according to it's not really sustainable. It is not good for the climate, and it is against the animal welfare goals. So people now recognize the need to change our meat-based diet, leading to higher demands in plant-based meat alternatives and also milk alternatives. However, veganism or a strict vegetarian diet can be rather challenging in meeting our daily nutritional needs. So, and then of course, because of all this drive, convenience and healthy food to go. Healthy, but yet also fast. Yeah, again, it's something that, consumers are demanding at this moment. Yeah, and that's where also, meal prepping comes in safe, because it helps with our busy lifestyle. Okay, it's very convenient. It is a form of takeout food. Yeah, again, it can be in the form of, rice bowls, salads, yeah, pre-cut food, soups, and so on. Yeah. Now, how we came to know these popular trends actually? Yeah, okay, of course, none other than, all the various different social media platforms. Yeah, all these platforms, okay, oftentimes are by, influencers, most without nutrition knowledge and background, influencing the way we eat and also what we buy. And there's this term called mukbang. Yeah, okay, a trend that has emerged, okay, it's a Korean terminology. Yeah, where there's eating shows, which is an online audiovisual broadcast, hosted by, influencers that, okay, they will usually have various quantity of food. Okay, they will actually be eating it, yeah, in their videos, in their short stories, in their, TikTok videos, in their reels. Yeah, okay, while interacting with the audience. Now, a lot of times after watching all these shows, right, we start craving and wanting to buy or even make all those types of food. Okay, that's how, dalgona coffee came about. Almost all my friends, yeah, okay, while being locked down, actually made that particular coffee. Not myself, because I'm not a coffee drinker itself. Now, food industries also became very creative in food marketing strategies. Yeah, targeting, get us using social media. Now you will see sponsored ads appear, yeah, get on our social media, even without us following their pages. All these actually change the way we eat and how we eat. So what is the role of the nutritionist, yeah, okay, with all these food trends that's happening in the world and also what is happening on our social media? Nutrition is known as the science that deals with the study of foods and also nutrients and their effects on an individual from an environmental, social, cultural, and also psychological and behavioral perspectives. So as a nutritionist, you play an important role, just as what was emphasized by Prof. Norimah just now, improving the health of the nation and ensuring good health of people through nutrition and communication. And oftentimes, okay, we don't have to be in one platform alone to do all these things. We can actually, play a role as a nutritionist in the food industry. Yeah, get in the garment sector as a community nutritionist. Yeah, okay, and even if we start our own businesses, yeah, or be it in, okay, sports nutrition itself. So our aim, is to address the various concerns of food consumers, okay, in terms of safety, in terms of ensuring quality, in terms of regulation, and also to make sure, okay, the public actually make the right decision in, consuming and purchasing the right things to eat. Now you must be very curious, yeah, again, and you also want to know, okay, how you will be trained as a nutritionist in IMU. Now, one of the things that you will be doing, okay, and also taking is the module called Contemporary Nutrition, where you will have great debates in nutrition through scientific updates, yeah, okay, through discussion and sharing, yeah, of all these different types of popular trends that is out there, and how, okay, we should or we should not, yeah, okay, follow or go for all these different trends, yeah, okay, it will all be discussed. And how food and culture is related to nutrition and how we eat, you will also learn about that, yeah, in our program. You will also get to go into the kitchen and learn some basic food preparation skills, learning how food should be prepared in a safe and also nutritious manner, yeah, okay, and be the influencer, yeah, okay, teaching others to eat and prepare healthy food. You will also learn about the concepts of health promotion, yeah, okay, how we should, okay, organize programs to promote good health using concepts, using frameworks that worked, yeah, okay, and, has worked in the past. And you also get to do research, in nutrition, where, recent scientific trends and updates are discussed and critiqued in this mini research project required for graduation. Now, coming to an end, with this, I would like to, welcome you to join IMU if you are intending to join us, which is Malaysia's first and most established private medical and health sciences university. Thank you for listening to my sharing.
Thank you, Dr. Serene. It was indeed an insightful sharing on how nutrition trends can affect our dietary habits and practices. Couldn't agree with you more. It was also interesting to see your plant-based nutrition pyramid. It was something very, very non-familiar. And what we see is the normal pyramid, which is very much followed by one and all. Thank you once again. And let's now move on to our third speaker, Ms. Sylvia. Ms. Sylvia Ho Jie Ying is a nutritionist come operative executive at the Green Image Organic Enterprise. She graduated with a degree in nutrition from IMU. She's currently working as a nutritionist, and her job scope involves disseminating nutrition information through social media, public talks, parental workshops, and many more. She's very passionate about educating others on the benefits of healthy diet and lifestyle to maintain health and prevent non-communicable diseases. She firmly believes that healthy eating should start with the parents at home. Let's welcome Ms. Sylvia to listen to her experiences that she encountered during her journey. Over to you, Ms. Sylvia.
Thank you so much, Prof. Snigdha. So let me share my slides. Okay, so a very good afternoon to all the participants out here. So my name is Sylvia, and I am currently working as a nutritionist in Green Image Organic Enterprise, which is also known as BioGreen. So a little bit information about me is I am a nutrition alumni, graduated from IMU around 2021, and I was awarded with Tu Zahir Mari Award and Leadership in Nutrition Award. So besides doing a full-time nutritionist in my current company, which is BioGreen, I am also doing some freelancing job as a nutrition content writer as well as nutrition speaker. So a little bit information about my company profile is that our company actually sells plant-based products, mainly plant-based milk, and we were founded back in 1999. And our products are all 100% natural and organic. We also have our own vegetarian cafe as well as a meat-free resort. So the first question that I would like to ask perhaps our participants, when it comes to your mind of studying in the future, was it mainly for the fame or for the money? Or maybe the participants will ask me, why would I choose nutrition? Was it for the fame or for the money? Of course, money is a very important issue. But other than that, I would like to share my experience of me joining the nutrition program is because firstly, there is a growing demand for professional healthcare experts. So as Prof. Norimah briefly mentioned about the AHP, Allied Health Professional program, which will be launched soon. So this is a health act that will be protecting the healthcare professionals in the future. And there will be a growing demand for professional healthcare experts, especially when Malaysia being one of the fattest and most obese country in the world. So it's very concerning for the future. And I believe Malaysia would need the help from a professional nutritionist or a dietitian to overcome this issue. And secondly, because of my personal experience, because I do have a relative that have a diet-related issue, so I firmly believe that since then, nutrition would be the key to sort of like prevent this kind of diet-related diseases from happening. So I really wanted to know more about how diet and nutrition, how it helps in preventive diarrhea-related diseases. And also, why I chose nutrition was mainly to increase the health awareness of the public. As I mentioned earlier, although the Malaysian scene, a lot of consumers are getting more and more health conscious. However, I do feel that their health awareness is not there yet. And the reason why I chose to become a nutritionist is to increase the overall health awareness of the public, to lead a healthier lifestyle, and to sort of like make Malaysia not being in the rank for the most obese country anymore. And I believe nutrition is a very fruitful journey, and there is a lot of career opportunities. So for me, my case, I'm working in a private industry. But other than being as a nutritionist, you can also be the R&D, and you can also work in the food service industry. You can also work in the academia like Dr. Serene, and also Prof. Norimah, and also Dr. Sylvia. And lastly, why I chose nutrition is because of my passion for health and nutrition. So I would also like to share some background information with my uni days in IMU. So firstly, I have the chance to involve in this collaboration between IMU and Deakin project, which Deakin is a Australia university, and we are currently collaborating with STEM as well. We do have an exchange program. So I was involved in this Deakin project where we illustrated the nutritional scene in Malaysia to the students over Deakin there, because it was MCO, so they couldn't visit Malaysia physically. So we did it via multiple videos, and I was really grateful for the experience because I get to learn so many skills, including video production skills. And I was one of the moderators for the IMU Deakin webinar, which I am also grateful for the experience. And I was also involved in the INSA podcast. So INSA actually stands for the IMU Nutrition and Dietetics Association, which is our very own Nutrition and Dietetics Association in IMU. And it was a rather new association, and I was really grateful to have the chance to be part of the founding team for the podcast. And also, I do have a lot of opportunity to be involved in community projects. So for the upper picture that you are seeing here is a community project where we teaches the pregnant mothers the importance of 1,000 days. And after the experience, I was really grateful because I came to learn about the importance of 1,000 days myself as well. And from there onwards, I believe that nutrition and healthy eating should be imparted since young. And the pictures downstairs is basically my community placement in Klinik Kesihatan, and I actually learned a lot, including anthropometric measurements for babies, and also cooking projects for the vulnerable families. So as I said earlier on, IMU provided us with a lot of community nutrition knowledge, which I think is very crucial for nutritionists, because we are the pioneer or the healthcare professionals that will be dealing with our patients, especially in the preventive healthcare area. So I believe that community nutrition skills are really crucial for nutritionists. And secondly, because I was the batch representative, I managed to gain more and more leadership skills and communication skills as well. And I also got the opportunity to participate in a lot of nutrition-related activities, including webinars, projects, and podcasts. And last but not least, it is definitely a golden opportunity for us to widen our connection with nutrition experts from all around the world. So now that I have briefly walked you through my days in IMU, I would also like to share a little bit about what I do as a nutritionist in the private sector in general. So I'm currently working in BioGreen. It is mainly selling plant-based products, but we also do a lot of like social media contents via social media like Instagram, Facebook, and also Xiaohongshu. So a lot of my day-to-day chores is mainly to create social media contents, not only to promote our own products, but also to increase the overall health awareness of the public. And 30% of my day-to-day would be attending to customer inquiries, whether it is regarding their own health problems or if they are looking for certain products and they ask if it is suitable for their condition. And the remaining 10% would be on recipe development. And also currently we are working on a lot of new product development going on. And we also did a lot of label proofreading. And we also did a lot of external events like TV live shows, CME trainings for pharmacists and other healthcare professionals, dealer trainings and roadshows where we do health screening events through this kind of roadshows. And 10% will be other miscellaneous projects. So I would like to share with you some of the pictures that I get to took when I was working, so you get to know more about like what is my day-to-day like as a nutritionist in the private sector. So first of all, health screening, other than external health screening, we also did internal staff health screening. So the pictures that you are currently seeing is a project that we did last year where we conducted internal staff health screening. And other than internal health screening, we also do a lot of health screening during workshops or also roadshows for free, just to increase their overall health awareness and to educate the public about their current health condition. And from there, we will work on perhaps their consultation or like nutrition advisors if they need to. And we also did a lot of recipe development because we are our company is actually advocating a vegetarian and plant-based diet. So actually we have to alter a lot of the recipes. We try not to include eggs and cheese in our products. So in terms of desserts and breads and some sort of recipe that will do a lot of egg or butter or like that is not vegetarian or vegan, we will try to alter a bit. So there comes the difficult part where we need to think of the substitute that we need to work on. And I was really grateful that I got involved in a lot of recipe development part. So for the first two pictures, it is actually the recipe development for a wellness program in our meat-free resort. So this is a 2 days event, a yoga event, and we created a whole new recipe just for the event itself. And the middle picture, the ice cream, it is actually a vegan avocado chocolate ice cream. And the texture was really good because we use avocado, and this is dairy-free as well. Other than that, we also do a lot of recipe sharing through our social media platforms. And this was another project that I did for recipe development. So we did a series of poke bowls, and I'm really happy that I came out with all the poke bowl recipes from scratch. It was really an unforgettable experience for me. And we also did a lot of workshops and external events for free, just to increase the health awareness for the public. And for this event, it is actually for the Pinktober, which is the Pink October Breast Cancer Awareness Month, where we teach the participants how to do simple chair yoga and also share some of the recipes for them to do when they are free. And then the pictures over here are actually last external event where I did in IMU, which is a career fair, and we actually promoted our brand as a potential employer to be recruiting future nutritionists to join in. And other than that, we also got invited for various TV live shows. So for instance, I was invited for Astro to talk on few nutrition issues. And we also did a lot of social media posting. So this is our own internal posting where we posted YouTube videos, Facebook videos, and also Instagram reels about nutrition topics and current topics. And we also did a lot of Facebook posting about our products as well, and e-newsletters. So that is all for my sharing. If you have any questions or you like to connect with me, feel free to connect with me, and that is all. Thank you.
Wow, it's so inspiring. Thank you so much, Sylvia. You seem to have an impressive journey. It's indeed delightful to note that IMU has prepared you as a work-ready graduate to embark on your career pathway, and you are a true evidence of what was imparted to you at IMU. I'm sure the audience is excited to know more about your journey thus far. Thank you once again, Sylvia. So now we are coming to the end of the speaker sessions. We are moving on to our next session, which is the question and answer session. May I request all the speakers to switch on their webcam, please? Thank you. There has been a couple of questions, quite a lot actually, from the audience. Let's start one by one. Now, the first question is for Prof. Norimah. My daughter is going to complete her A-level soon, and she is confused between nutrition and dietetics as both deal with food. May I know the difference, please? Over to you, Prof.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Snigdha. Now, as a parent myself, I can understand parents. They want to make sure that the children go to the bright program. For me, of course, the interest of the children is also what are they interested in. Now, dietetics and nutrition, quite a lot of similarities, even in any university program, whether it is in IMU or in government universities. So nutrition is all about prevention. So what it means is we usually work in the community who are healthy, and we educate, we train, we promote people to eat well. So you remember I have that acronym, healthy eating, active living. We would promote that. So nutritionists will promote that because we want to prevent people from getting sick. So the work area will be not a hospital area. Now, once you go to dietetics, it will be a lot about treatment. So meaning you usually will work with patients. People already have diabetes, people already have cancer, already have all these, whatever diseases that they have. Then patients would come and meet with the dietitians and then would modify their food so that they would be not get worse because of the modification of the diet that they make because of the disease. In nutrition, we do not want people to get diseased. We want people to remain healthy throughout your life. You know, from a baby, from a pregnant mothers, all the way to older adults like me now, for example. I'm happy to tell you, Mom, that with prevention, you know, eating well, once nutritionists have the knowledge is just not for you. It is also for your family and for everybody around you. So it's all about prevention, while dietetics is treating people who are sick and modify their diet because of their sickness. I hope I would enlighten you a little bit about the difference of nutrition and dietetics. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Moving on to the next question. This question can be posed to Dr. Serene. What sort of personality is suitable to be a nutritionist?
Thank you, Dr. Snigdha, for the question. But before I address this particular question, perhaps I would like to add on to what Prof. Norimah was talking about just now with regards to the role of a nutritionist. Other than the differentiation between the role of a nutritionist and a dietitian, I would also like to emphasize that, oftentimes nutritionists actually also work hand in hand together with the food industry, just as what Sylvia is actually currently doing, in BioGreen itself. In terms of formulation, in terms of reformulating of food, they're looking into ensuring that the food is adhering the regulations, ensuring the food is actually good for health. A lot of nutritionists actually work in, various different industries, and food industry is actually one of the biggest industries that, puts a lot of emphasis in having nutritionists in their company to ensure that, the food products that they produce is actually in compliance and also, is actually of good health. So, the role of a nutritionist is very diverse. It's, not just in the government setting or in the public health setting, but, it goes beyond, it goes beyond. Okay, coming to the question, with regards to the personality, suitable to be a nutritionist. I think, this particular profession, actually caters for various different types of people with different personalities most of the time. But some similar characteristics that you can, observe among nutritionists is that they are very investigative. They tend to be very, curious people. They want to know certain things. They are often, with a lot of thoughts with regards to science, with regards to food. And that's why, they are, interested in this journey being a nutritionist. There are also, people that is with business mind, like, that entrepreneurs, they are natural leaders, wanting to, be, start their own business, they can also, find interest and also, want to be a nutritionist, right? So I have come across, very diverse, personality and characteristics of people, that join and be a nutritionist. So it is not limited to only a certain personality per se. That's what I'm trying to say. Yep. Over to you, Dr. Snigdha.
Thank you. The next question is for Ms. Sylvia. Sylvia, it's addressed to you. Sylvia, was there any internship during the program, and how was your experience?
Okay, so we do have 2 internships in total. So the first one is the community placement with Klinik Kesehatan, and it was really, really fun. We get to know different special cases from mothers, pregnant mothers, and also underweight children. So we get to also do house visit and also learn about the food basket program, which is very eye-opening for me. And the second one is actually attachment to the private industry, where we get to choose our own company, or our lecturers will provide us with a list of company to work on. So for instance, you can actually work with Nestle, you can work with perhaps Unilever, P&G, the companies that have nutrition on their list. You can go and approach them and work on it's a 3 months internship program, but you can go beyond that if you are comfortable with it, like after you graduated. So I do feel that it is crucial for me because it kind of like shaped my preferred pathway, whether it's like in the Klinik Kesehatan or in the private industry. So I think the internship really taught me a lot, and I really enjoyed it.
Thank you, Sylvia. Sylvia, there's another question for you. I think you're the best person to answer this. Are students required to have any cooking skills in order to join the program?
I would say no. Even if you don't know how to cook, we actually do have a food service module where we will learn to know from all the cooking knowledge or food and nutrition related knowledge through this module. And we get to really do a lot of hands-on things, including like bakery products, fish products. They ask you how to, slice the fish. And we also learn about vegetable cooking broths and also a lot of different products, which is also crucial in the food service industry. But of course, if you do have cooking skills, it would be better. But I do have a lot of friends prior entering this IMU nutrition or dietetics study, they do not know how to cook at all. But for me personally, I know how to cook before I enter this nutrition program. Yeah, but I wouldn't say you need to know how to cook. You do not need to know how to cook. Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much, Sylvia. The next question, probably I could take it. Any scholarships for this program? Yes, currently we have an entrance bursary and also we have full and half scholarship. But the scholarship is not based only on your achievements in your foundation or in your pre-U, but you have to go through a short essay as well as an interview. And if you qualify both, then you would be able to get the scholarship. For further information, you could contact our admissions team. They will be able to address the other concerns that you have. Thank you. The next question is for Prof. Norimah. Can a nutritionist work in a hospital? Prof, you're muted.
Okay. Remember earlier on, I spoke about the Allied Health Professional Act in Malaysia, where nutritionists have a set of job scope that they can do, and so are the dietitians. Now, so far in Malaysia, most of the nutritionists work in the clinic kesihatan, just like Sylvia say, KK, that means clinic kesihatan, where a nutritionist will meet patients like pregnant moms, stunted children, underweight children, and those kind of diseases. It is not a hospital setting, but it is in a clinic kesihatan setting. But otherwise, like Dr. Serene also say, nutritionists can work in the food industry, can work in the fitness and health centers, can do a lot of things basically. Yeah, but hospital, not hospital, but clinic kesihatan. Okay.
Thank you. The next question is for Dr. Serene. What are your thoughts on plant-based alternatives? You were mentioning about COVID trends. There was also a vegan trend during COVID times. So can you share some of your thoughts on this?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Snigdha. Well, I would say, plant-based alternatives can be a good alternative if we want to reduce, meat that we consume on a daily basis, because there are many good products, that's actually out there that they formulate, in such a manner that it's, they're well-rounded and holistic. Or if, let's say, you prefer, whole foods like legumes, nuts, seeds, and vegetables, and fruits, those can also be very good options. But if I would advise, you to totally, go for just plant-based or, vegetable sources types of food only, I think this one is actually more of a personal choice. Sometimes it's due to, cultural and also religious reasons and background. It may also, be a personal decision that you don't want to eat meat. or it can also be because, okay, of the trend, yeah, okay, you're more into a climate friendly and sustainable kind of diet. Yeah, actually, it's all right to make that decision, but we have to be cautious, right? Okay, because there are certain nutrients that is required by our body. Okay, may be rather low if it's coming from plant-based, okay, alternatives of products or food itself. So we need to ensure, okay, we follow the balance, moderation, also variety principles in eating and to meet our daily nutrient needs according to the recommendation itself. Now, if you want to know more, okay, do consult us, yeah, okay, so that we can give you a tailored advice, like, okay, for this, if you are indeed actually into plant-based alternatives, yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Dr. Serene. So if you need further advice, any of the nutritionists, qualified nutritionists, there have been a lot of information on the social media. It may be very difficult for you to filter whether the information comes from a professionally qualified nutritionist or not. So please do visit a professionally qualified nutritionist for further details if you need any further advice. Okay. Thank you, Prof. Dr. Serene. There's another question for okay, is the IMU degree recognized overseas? And I could take this question. Yes, IMU degree is very much recognized overseas. We have our students who are working, our alumni who is working in Singapore. We also have a credit transfer program to deacons, and they can graduate from there. And yes, by all means, IMU degree is recognized overseas. The next question is for Sylvia. You mentioned about acquiring skills in community nutrition during your placement. How was it helpful in your current field of work?
I would say it is community skills is very crucial for nutritionists because as Prof. Norimah and Dr. Serene had already mentioned previously, the difference between nutritionists and also dietitians stay between the line where nutritionists work for the public and the community and the preventive healthcare industry, and dietitians usually work in treatment industry. So even if for my cases where I work in the private sector, I often do have a lot of roadshows and health screening events. So community skills at this moment of time comes in place for me to know more about like the appropriate tools in terms of assessing their weights or like their eating habits and all sorts of this. So and besides that, I think community skills are crucial for us to communicate well with our patients or our clients. So it is also for them to like persuasiveness to increase their healthcare awareness. Like we will persuade them to come and follow up. So for instance, if the client is in a really bad shape, almost to the shape where they are falling sick, so we need to persuade them to come follow up with us to improve their overall health being. So I think that in terms of that, community skills is very crucial.
Thank you, Sylvia. There's another question. What type of postgraduate studies can I go into after a nutrition degree? So I understand the question is whether you are able to go for a postgraduate studies or not. The answer is yes. Even in IMU, we do have the post-graduation. It is under Masters in Medical and Health Sciences. We do have our former students doing their Masters under IMU as well. So yes, you can go for a postgraduate studies after your nutrition degree. So one last question in the interest of time. This is for Prof. Norimah. As a nutritionist, what is your advice on selecting healthier foods while eating out, as we all know that Malaysians generally have at least 2 meals outside. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Snida. Whether you eat in or you eat out, you should eat healthily. Personally, I think most Malaysians are eating out more than cooking at home. Nutrition Society, Ministry of Health, even myself, I would always promote that we should cook at home simply because we have the control on what kind of ingredients we put inside our food, and also the type of cooking preparation that we do. So when you eat out, of course, you can follow the same principles. So when ordering or when it is already nasi campur or a buffet kind of thing, you should always ask for food which are prepared with less minyak, so not so much ayam goreng or everything is goreng pisang, ayam goreng, ikan goreng. We should go more for a healthier option of cooking preparation, which students also learn when they go into IMU, which is you go for grill, you go for roasted, you go for steam. Yeah, so that's if the protein food. Now, for fruits and vegetables, fruits, of course, we eat fresh. But if you order sayur, or you choose one which is stir-fried, rather not so masak lemak, not so masak goreng and all that. But we know we always order nasi goreng, kway teow goreng and all that. So for those kind of things, of course, it will be fried, but it will be healthier if you say less salt, less ajinomoto, put in more vegetables, that sort of thing. Go for salads if you like, or ulam. So when eating out, the practice principle is you should always opt for a healthier option of food preparation. And I think most Malaysians know fried will be the worst, lemak will be the worst, but go for the steam, the tom yum style, the soup style, that kind of cooking. And this should also be practiced at home, not only when you are eating out. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Prof. Norimah. May I request Dr. Serene to share her views on the postgraduate studies after the nutrition degree?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Snida. Yeah, with regards to, the type of postgraduate studies, I think, students that graduate with a degree in nutrition, oftentimes they can further studies in the nutrition field, whether it's in the master's or a PhD in nutrition, and a lot of IMU graduates that has graduated with a nutrition degree did their postgraduate studies overseas, even in the UK, in the Australia, or even in Malaysia, right? In the various different public and private universities that's offering postgraduate, and also, whether it's a master's program or it's a PhD program. So in IMU, we do have, postgraduate studies offered, to our students with, a discount because of them being an IMU alumni. And in terms of progression, it would also be a lot easier for you to actually progress internally in IMU itself, because you know well of the system and you know very well of the possible supervisors that may be supervising you for your postgraduate studies. So I think there's a lot of opportunities for to explore in this area, and please feel free to contact us and ask us more in regards to what are the benefits in regards to doing postgraduate studies and also doing it in IMU itself. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Snida. Yeah.
Absolutely, agree totally with Dr. Serene. Thank you very much, Dr. Serene. Due to time constraints, I think we have to bring this to a close. However, please do not hesitate to contact us for further information related to the program. Kindly note that our program in IMU provides you with the opportunity not only to graduate with a nutrition degree recognized in Malaysia, but also a credit transfer option to graduate with a Bachelor of Nutrition Science from Deakin's University, Australia. So with that, I wish to thank all these speakers, Prof. Norimah, Dr. Serene, Ms. Sylvia, for your precious time for spending with us and also sharing your experiences with the audience, which I'm sure has been very, very fruitful. Thank you, everyone, and thanks to the audience. Have a very good weekend, and do feel free to drop by IMU to inquire further if you're interested for this course. Thank you very much, and bye, everyone.